Ever felt like people just don't get you? Or every social interaction turned into a weird, awkward mess? Then stick around. Today's video is exactly for you. It's like you're stuck in this endless loop of overthinking and feeling out of place. But what if I told you that it's not the people around you, but it's actually your mindset that's holding you back? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll have the tools to finally become someone that's not socially awkward. Let me tell you a story about my friend Mike. Now, Mike was one of those people that was smart, intriguing, athletic, charismatic, but you would only get to know these things about him when you got to know him. Mike had one particular problem. And that one particular problem was he struggled with social interactions. Whenever it came to talking to new people, he would always mumble, stutter, trip over his words, make mistakes. Mike started to convince himself that it was everybody else around him, so he trapped himself inside and decided to leave social interactions altogether. Now, Mike figured out one important thing one particular day. It's when he talked to a guy that realized what Mike was going through. Now, this guy was a couple years older than Mike, and this guy stopped and told him, "Hey man, slow down. Learn how to be yourself. Stop thinking for others and just be yourself." Now, this story is pretty intriguing. It's intriguing because this is my story. I'm Mike, and my story isn't different from a lot of yours. I had a light inside of myself that I was dimming and I was holding back because, well, I was afraid to be judged. And because of that fear, which I was really placing on myself and in my own brain, I wasn't able to be authentically myself. And in today's video, I want to teach you guys how to be authentically yourself. Be who you naturally are. Don't be who you want others to perceive you as. Let's get into it, man. I'm going to share the exact mindset shifts that I had to go through to stop being someone else and start being authentically myself. And by the end of this video, you'll have the tools to start being authentically yourself and being comfortable in your own skin. Here's what I need you guys to do. Stop thinking everyone is judging you. You walk into a room, it feels like everyone's eyes are laser focused on you. And your brain is screaming, "They're all watching me right now." But here's the truth. Everybody's too worried about their own personal lives and what they got going on to worry about what you have going on. And here's a tip. The next time this happens, take a deep breath, come back into your skin, and realize that most people are usually thinking about what they're gonna say next and their own insecurities than what you have going on. Honestly, everyone else likely is just like you. Has anxiety, has a fear of being judged. Let go of that fear of being judged and start being yourself. And just take a deep breath. It's really not that serious. No one's sitting there thinking about you, and no one's trying to critique and judge you. And even if they are, bro, freaking loser. Don't let those kind of people steer you away from being yourself. But what if you feel like you still don't know what to say to people? Let's fix that with step 2. Be curious about others. Here's a secret. If you want to be interesting, be interested. Instead of worrying about what to say, do things like ask the person in front of you genuine questions and genuinely be curious. Like, hey, what was the coolest thing that you experienced last week? From that point on, you can spark an interesting conversation and get to know a lot about people. But asking questions isn't enough if you don't know how to respond. That's where tip 3 comes in. Tip 3, listen more than you talk. Here's a secret. A lot of people will listen just to wait for the response from something that they thought about previously. Try this. The next time you're talking to someone and they're telling you something, ask yourself, what's interesting about what they're saying? And then respond in a way that is tailored to the message that they just gave you. When you truly listen, you build deeper connections that people will remember in the long run. So remember, stop listening to respond and start listening to connect. But what if you're worried about your conversations being boring? Let's add some flavor to your lingo with tip 4. Share stories, not just facts. Facts are boring. Stories are fun. Instead of saying, "I went to the beach," say, "I got buried in sand and it took me 20 minutes to get out." Sharing stories creates emotions and pictures in people's heads that make not only what you're saying more intriguing, but allow people to feel emotions, which will help them remember you in the long run. Don't worry about making the story perfect. Just share the story in a way that shows how you felt. But sometimes you honestly can't avoid being awkward. What do you do then? That's where tip 5 comes in to save the day. Own your awkwardness. Guess what? Everyone's a little awkward here and there, right? When you mess up, instead of making the situation awkward or weird, just say, wow, that was awkward, and move on with your day. When you allow yourself to mess up and you allow yourself to be awkward, you will also pave a way for other people to be comfortable around you. They realize that you're not trying to be perfect, and it allows them to be themselves as well with you. For the guys and ladies out there watching, learn to be awkward. Be cool with being awkward. It was awkward, but it's cool. I didn't die. In every situation, find light in that moment. Yes, it might be awkward. Yes, you might be the oddball out, but hey, at least you're living. It's not that bad. What if you feel like you still have nothing interesting to talk about? Let's fix that with tip 6. Try new things. Here's the thing. If you never try anything new or add any flavor or experience to your life, you won't have anything to talk about. Even things as minimalistic as watching a new movie or reading a new book can add experience and flavor into your conversation. Just freaking go explore the world, man. Read a book, watch something, hang out with a friend. When you build experiences, you build stories. Go outside, create something, do something, have fun, smile, laugh, live life. But even with experiences, you still might feel insecure. That's where tip 7 comes in. Stop comparing yourself to others. When you compare yourself to other people, that's the quickest way to feel bad. Instead of comparing yourself to someone that seems like they have it all figured out, look at your pros and just embody those things. Love yourself. Don't compare yourself to other people's lives. It's not as perfect as it seems. You guys know that saying, not everything that glitters is gold. Sometimes what you have is what you need to accept and what you need to love. Learn to be yourself, man. Authentically, you be proud of yourself. Because no one can own your story. Only you can. But mindset isn't just about thoughts. It's also about how you present yourself. So let's move on to tip 8. Practice good body language. Stand up straight, look into people's eyes, and smile. Good body language makes you appear more confident even if you don't feel that way on the inside. And I'll give you guys this with a quick story. Now, your boy was about 5 years younger, and I already had these things down. I had great posture, good eye contact. I always could smile, in situations. And I would catch myself sometimes saying, man, I'm not the most confident person. I'm not the most this and that. But people would always tell me, well, you seem like a confident guy. You seem like somebody that's, self-assured and, knows how to be himself. And I'm like, really? Really, I do? Subconsciously, people notice these things about you and they perceive you as confident. They see you as someone that's able to be themselves because you're standing tall, you're smiling, your chest is out. Things that confident people do, So when you learn these simple habits, it really trickles things in people's minds. Good body language doesn't only make others perceive you as confident, it also makes you more confident over time. But what if you want to add a little bit more flavor to your interactions? Let's dive into that with step 9. Use humor even if you're not funny. You don't have to be super funny to make other people laugh. When you slip up, notice funny things or just peep things in a conversation and critique it to your conversation style, and you'll notice that you'll make people laugh. You're just gonna be walking around here saucing people up, man. You're gonna be making them laugh. The last tip ties everything together. Be yourself. Seriously, guys, be yourself. The more you are, you'll naturally attract people that like you for you and that want to be around you because of who you are. If you're trying to be someone else 24/7, it becomes exhausting. You become this copycat and you try to fit in this perfect piece. But in reality, there's no perfect person on this planet. I mean, Jesus Christ. But regular people are not perfect. No one is perfect. So just be you, be yourself, and don't let your thoughts get in the way.